To Dragon Games, one legendary rivalry. On one side, Dragon Adventures, the ever-expanding fantasy universe where you raise, evolve, and battle with your own dragons. On the other, How to Train Your Dragon, Homecoming, a nostalgic journey into the world of Toothless and Berg. But which one truly rules the skies of Roblox? Let's break it down, world by world, dragon by dragon. This video contains purely my subjective opinion, and is not intended to offend fans of any of these games. There is no criticism here, just a comparison. I'll start with Dragon Adventures. There are many worlds in this game, not to mention additional ones that appear during various events. Each world has its own unique dragons. You can collect your own collection of dragons, which includes 166 varieties. Let's look at the game How to Train Your Dragon. There is one big beautiful world with several islands. Each of the islands is unique and has different levels of difficulty, but I'll talk about that later. The first thing that strikes you after entering the game is the atmosphere. Dragon Adventures is all about your dragons. Breed them, mutate them, customize colors, apply traits. You can literally create a one-of-a-kind beast. In the main world of Origins, where you spawn after entering the game, you will find many buildings that offer you the opportunity to craft potions, buy or sell resources, food, medicine, etc. You can spin the Wheel of Fortune every day and get a prize. There are many missions and tasks available to you, from daily missions that give you coins, potions, and other useful items to seasonal missions where you can get a unique dragon. How to Train Your Dragon offers something different, a trip into the movie universe. Explore Berg, meet your favorite dragons, and live the dream. Dragon Adventures offers freedom and fantasy. The other, pure cinematic nostalgia, which world pulls you in more. Here you will meet only a few NPCs who will also show you what you can find in the menu. Unfortunately, that's all. Although I admit, everything looks very thematic, and involuntarily you want to immediately run and watch the movie again. Let's get back to dragons, where Dragon Adventures has more than 160 of them. Different in size, theme, design, ground and flying, scary and cute, in a word, for every taste. The Dragons menu is expanded, showing all its indicators, health, age, level, colors and materials, mutations and cosmetic traits, breath type, and much more. Cosmetic traits give your dragons a unique look, and if you want to change the element of your dragon's breath or color, no problem. Use hundreds of potion variations and create your own unique one. Each dragon has its own speed, bite force, and breath stats. These stats can be increased, but more on that later when I talk about gameplay. You can also make your dragon stand out from the crowd with accessories that can be worn on different parts of the body. There are so many accessories in the game that you can collect entire sets. Each player has their own base where you can change the plot theme. These themes are different and can mostly be obtained during different main events in the game. Thanks to buildings, you can decorate your base in different thematic styles. Agree, it looks nice. Let's go back to How to Train Your Dragon. There are only 5 dragons here. This is not surprising, because the game is based on the movie. I'm not condemning this, I'm just talking about limited choices. Also in the menu, you can buy various saddles with the coins you earn. Each of them gives boosts to your dragon during the game. Here you will also find excerpts from the film, and in the Hints tab you will find tips on how to play this game. Each dragon has a total level and sublevels that affect the dragon's speed, breath, and health. Each dragon also has its own class. Let's take a look at the dragons themselves and what they look like. The first and most famous dragon is Toothless. I'll say right away that I was impressed by the detail and textures. Everything is drawn so coolly that I have to respect the developers for that. Other dragons like Poop, Ugly, and Hideo Zippleback are also impressive with their graphics and cool animations. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to get the 5th dragon by the time of this video, so you can find it in a cage on one of the islands. Here you won't be able to change the color, breath, or anything else about the dragon except to level it up and make it stronger. Now let's talk about the gameplay. Where do dragons come from? That's right, from eggs. In Dragon Adventures, there are many different eggs from which you can hatch different dragons. These are eggs from worlds and events. The hatching time of the egg depends on its rarity. Dragons have unique genetic traits that can be obtained or their effects increase through breeding. In order for dragons to reproduce, they must first have the ability to do so, and secondly, one of them must be male and the other female. What do you think about the idea of putting together a female dragon battalion? Girls, no offense. After hatching the egg, you will get a baby dragon, and of course you first need to grow it to ride or fly it. Different dragons have different growth times. There are 3 stages from baby to elder. Each world in the game is unique in its design and theme. Whether it's a snowy tundra world, a volcanic world, or a water world, each one has hidden treasure chests and its own world dragon eggs. In the worlds, you can collect various resources and food, which can be sold or used to craft buildings for the base. Dragons need to be fed regularly to increase their combat stat. In the chests, you will find both coins and potions, healing, or something else. In the game, you can compete in races with other players. There are both ground races and flying races. At the end of the race, you get a reward depending on where you finish. Each world has its own boss. Defeat the boss to gain experience for your dragon and additional prizes if you win. You can do this solo or with other players or friends. Each dragon can breathe, bite, and has its own unique roar. Now let's talk about how to level up a dragon and its sublevels. Flying through the rings raises the riding level. When you fly around worlds and find chests or eggs, your tracking level increases. You can raise the combat level by reducing everything that can be destroyed. These are mobs, the boss, some walls, trees with food and resources. And the last one is your dragon's bond. There are several options for doing this, and the process itself looks fun. As a result of leveling up all sublevels, you will raise the main level of the dragon. And finally, the last thing before I move on to how to train your dragon is dueling and trading with other players. You can trade everything from food and potions to dragons. Duels are an interesting pastime. Many people want to show how strong their dragon is. A lot depends on the dragon itself and its level. This time I was weaker. Well, it happens. GG, my friend. You say finally. Now I'll show you how it all works here in how to train your dragon. Sorry, but there's already too much important information. Here, as in Dragon Adventures, there are rings that you need to fly through to increase your speed level. Unlike Dragon Adventures, here the rings will speed up the flight. It's cool, but sometimes it's hard to master the controls. To feed the dragon, you need to dive underwater and catch fish. Agree, the animation is very cool. This also raises your dragon's fishing level. The only thing you can destroy here are the ballistae that shoot at you as you approach the island. You can use both fire breath and fireball. I especially like the latter because it can be done from a greater distance. Here you can also increase your dragon's bonding level. Check it out. Only here you have to hold down the mouse button to do this if you're playing on PC. The only thing that was unclear to me was how long I had to do it, because the process didn't end on its own. The stronger the dragon you get, the more stars you can move to islands with more stars. These stars indicate difficulty. Yes, your dragon can be killed here, but don't worry, it won't disappear. Just revive it. There are missions in this game. There aren't many of them, and to be honest, some of them are very difficult to complete. Perhaps the highlight of the game is that not everything is so simple. There is a boss battle, although I realized after trying it myself that it's either impossible or I just have a too weak dragon. If you know anything about it, write in the comments. I actually managed to release one fireball and several times to breath as I was in Rebirth. Well, this video was not just a comparison, but a mini tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. So, which game is better? That depends on you. If you want a relaxing ride through a familiar world, HTTYD is your game. But if you're looking for depth, variety, and a true dragon adventure, well, the name says it all. Let me know in the comments which dragon game is your favorite.